Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. How are you guys doing? This is an all-you-can-eat inter-content evening. You know, as Matthias says, first it was just inter-worldwide. Gianni, Mo, they did a great job talking about transfer window and the post-Champions League stuff. And now you got probably about an hour of me, back-to-back hours of inter-content. It's your lucky day or unlucky day, depending on how you see it. Hope everyone is doing well. You guys know the title says everything, nothing to explain. It's that time of the season. Season's finished. It's time we look back at Inzaghi, the players, and give a rating and call it quits for this season. Then we can focus. Finito. No more talking about this season. No more talking about that Champions League final. Well, of course, we will still talk about that Champions League final for years to come. But for now, we'll leave that behind after this stream today. And I'm looking forward to seeing all your feedback and ratings. What's up, Muad? Hope you are doing well. Thank you very much. Mattel, hope you are doing well. Patrick Foley, Mattia, of course, always in the house. Eduardo in the house. Aaron W. Ede, what's up? Hope you're good. Freddie, what's up, brother? Payet Balotelli. It was good to see Balotelli the other day on the BT Sport. He was doing the Champions League final on BT Sport here in the UK. That guy still dresses like it's 2012. It's funny. Back to back, yeah, exactly, Bruce Wayne. Back to back streams, back to back. A shame we couldn't do back to back Scudetto last year. Aaron W, what's up? And guys, I know it's the hot topic right now, but I tried to keep the stream to the topic. So don't worry, we will have time. We'll have lots of this. We've got months now, guys. We've got until August, until the season resumes, to talk about the transfer window. So today, just give me a chance. Let's focus on the topic today, the season ratings. I know we want to talk about Onana, the rumors, Inzaghi, Milinkovic-Savic, Koulibaly, Lukaku. But for today, just give me a chance, 1 hour. Let's stick to the topic. And then Razuri, thank you for reminding the people to like and subscribe. Sharif, hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you are doing well. Balotelli, yeah, literally, bro. This guy, if you took a picture of Balotelli now, and obviously he looks older now, but like he's got the same clothes they used to have in 2012. It's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, man. Strasbourg Steve, new Chalo member. Thank you very much for joining. And he came through on that pre-show stream we did, obviously, before the final. It didn't quite work out for us, but thank you for all the people that came through. Look forward to the ratings. Yeah, Anthony, you're going to be contributing because I am a man of the people. I listen to you guys. We did this last year, and you guys told me we needed another level. When we did this, you said these 5, or there was, I think, we had 4 or 5, so I added an extra level, another layer for ratings. So we go from MVP, fantastic, good, okay, flop, and then I made an extra one that's just literally Banter / Inzaghi hates him, and I've already placed the guys in there. And by the way, shouts out, I didn't make this tier maker. Someone called A007999592. He made it with all these like lovely pictures and the names of the guys on top of it. So shouts out to him. I just changed the names of the tiers. So yeah, maybe we need a separate level for gags, right? What's up, Anastasis? Hope you are doing well. Yasu. But yeah, let's get into it, guys. So I've done out of the way the youth guys. Banter / Inzaghi hates him because as far as we know, I think Inzaghi hates youth players. Stankovic, Akinsanmiro, Carboni, Kamate, Curatolo, Bottis, Fontana Rosa, Zanotti. We've barely seen these guys. I think Zanotti is the one who's got the most minutes. but it is what it is. So those are out of the way. Next one we can put in there. I'm gonna get this banter one out of the way. Cordas. I mean, we got to see him right at the end, didn't we, guys? Cordas. He came on for his one appearance since his comeback to Inter. Made an amazing save against Torino. He had like 25 minutes, 30 minutes, something crazy like that. But obviously, even if he had like more minutes than that, he still would have been in the banter corner anyway, because that's just what he is. He's that third keeper who's just the banter guy. I'll make one separate for Dalba. Yeah, I don't know how Dalba made it here, to be honest. He needs to be in here actually, because this guy isn't even playing for us. He went to Cagliari on loan, and then he came back to us in the summer, and he's done his ACL on like the first day he came back, and then he'd been out for the whole season pretty much, and then obviously he's not even in the squad, so he has to go in the banter thing as well. Yeah, I guess you could say Cord as MVP just for the banter. With that 20 minutes, he was MVP level. Those 20 minutes appearance, he definitely was MVP level. More Inter-Greek fans in the house, what's up? Zanotti did play, he was okay. Yeah, he was okay, but yeah, for the under 20, I don't think this guy's gonna be I don't think he's gonna be Inter level. Always want to check up formation and see Dalba would probably not play him. Like, yeah, I guess they always just put him in the squad or like in the team, but he's never actually. I don't even he's been called up at any point. Yeah, I think his contract runs out this summer. Finally, we get rid of him as well, which I think that's what's going to have to happen with Correa probably. Freddie says, just go ahead and put DiMarco at the top. Oh my God, but I'm already on a disagreement here, man. I'm already on a disagreement here. I mean, shall we start there? I mean, Freddie's put it out there. Where are we putting? Okay, let's start there. Where are we putting DiMarco? Because he's put it out there, but I disagree. I think he's had a fantastic season, DiMarco. I think there was a point where he was our best player at the beginning of the season when we were all of our players were quite rubbish. I think he was standing out, and Gosens was injured / not fit or just not that good. And then if we look at the stats, he's ended up on pretty good stats, hasn't he? Go on detailed stats for this season. Let's have a look if we do by assists. So Lautaro at the top, and yeah, he's there. Assist-wise, he's joint second with Barella. 6 goals, 10 assists. Very, very good stats for DiMarco. 3,170 minutes, 50 games played with a little injury in the middle. But yeah, I struggle, Freddie, to be honest, to put him right at the top. I really, really struggle. What's up, Ahmed? Gotta go sleep. Let's see, Ahmed. Let's see if we surprise you. Ooh, Eduardo just says just good, and so does Ryan. Interesting. Oh yeah, Anthony, if you want to jump in, it's up to you, bro. It's up to you. Yeah, I agree. Language shows that he isn't that great defensively, but we're judging here not on his ability level. Like, if you have to give me some examples of why that feature of DiMarco maybe doesn't deserve him to be at the MVP level or whichever level you think. No, I don't think, in my opinion, no. And he doesn't need to be. I don't think that was the aim for DiMarco to be as good as Perisic, because last year Perisic was my easy MVP of the season last year. And again, I go back because I don't know how Lautaro won it last year, but I thought, last year Perisic, Barella, Skriniar were front runners for MVP last year, and somehow Lautaro was given the Inter MVP last season. DiMarco should be between good and fantastic. Okay. DiMarco fantastic, crossing went down, but heart never stopped. Also, yeah, I mean, that's one thing I definitely hold against DiMarco, the fact that he just huffs and puffs. 65th minute, and this guy is dying. Like, it looks like he's just, been burned through a shisha pipe. He's had all the different flavors. The charcoal's running out. The shisha guys come and change the coal on the shisha pipe, and this guy is just there like he's just dying. So for now, I'm gonna put DiMarco fantastic. I'm gonna give the power at the end of our stream to change one guy. For all of you, if everyone disagrees on one, I'll give you all the power to change one replacement. But for now, just spend a couple of minutes on each one, and we put him somewhere. Yeah, but I mean, Eduardo, I don't think that's necessarily his problem. That's the way into play under Inzaghi. We play with a lot of freedom, especially the first half of the season. Maybe too much freedom, too much of a high line, people way too high up. I don't think that's necessarily on him. We've seen Bastoni being high up. We've seen, Dumfries. So, yeah, it's not really. I wouldn't do that on him. I wouldn't do that on him. Yeah, Brozo as well last season for sure. Yeah, I think some people also push him extra, Di Marco, because he is an Interista. He grew up an Interista. He was, part of the fan base. He used to go to the stadium. He's the one that's like gets the microphone out when we win against Milan. But to me, that doesn't gather any extra points with me. That's just a nice to have. Gigi Stevenhouse, what's up, brother? Hope you are doing well. This guy has got coming through with his 0 trophies this season. Of course, he's my senpai when it comes to the YouTube game. Make sure you guys check him out if you want to know what's going on in the world of Juve. All their court cases and all their big players having to be sold, like Vlahovic, Chiesa wanting to leave because of Allegri. So make sure you go check him out. No, I'm joking. Well, actually, I'm not joking, but joking. And yeah, this is the final ranking for the season, unless he's doing the tongue-in-cheek saying final ranking because of our final. I'm late. Hope I didn't miss Tuchel being put in world class as other category. Yeah, I guess we have to put him. We have to make a separate category for him. Hey, Johnny's here. Look at this guy. He was busy an hour with what's his name, Mo, and now he's there in the comments as well again already. I don't think Onana we can put him in the MVP category. We have to be objective. But yeah, let's go. Let's get now that Johnny's here. Let's do the controversial topic. Where are we putting what some people call the rat or the snake, Milan Skriniar? Now, guys, be objective. Take out the contract situation. Take out the PSG stuff. Take out the agent stuff. Take out all of the off-field stuff. Take out your conspiracy theories about his back injury. I want real, objective opinions on Skriniar's season. Obviously, he's not MVP or fantastic. So it's obviously, to me, it's between these three here. It has to be. I can understand people that might call him a flop as well. Even objectively, I can understand him being a flop. But I personally wouldn't put him there. I haven't put him in okay. I'm just put him there, like just visually for now. So let's see what you guys are saying. Saying racismo, banter. What's up? NS Sports flop. Bible says okay. Flop. He was out half the season and underperformed the first half. He did underperform the first half. We have to be objective. He wasn't that good, and this is, as I said, without any bias towards what happened with him off the field and contract situation wise, because he was injured in the summer, guys. Don't forget, people make out that this was his first serious injury. He got a serious injury for Slovakia in the summer, and when we came back, remember, even the first game against Lecce, he was shaky. In general, it wasn't the same Milan Skriniar that we remember. The Milan derby, I mean, all of our defenders were shaky that game. Of course, yeah, objectively still our best defender, but that's not what we're talking about here about Correa. We're talking about how was his 2022-2023 season. And of course, we have to also take into account, I think he's the only guy that got a red card this season, right? Because, that's the Inzaghi, actually, Gagliardini, of course. But only him and Gagliardini got a red card this season. So that surely holds some weight. Gianni, of course, petty as always, flop, injuries, red card in the Empoli game. I'd say good for Screen okay. Actually, MVP, thanks to him. Ooh, this is an interesting take from Gigi's Juve. because because of his off-field or whatever happened to his injuries and stuff, he elevated Matty Doms and all the other defenders, right? So I can see that's an interesting way to put it. Don't worry into deep, Nick. We're not doing your twin yet. And I like Skriniar, but to me he flopped. Whenever he played, he was above average most of the time. Just know it's normal. Skriniar was at Gags level. Okay, again, it's not that bad, bro. Not that bad. Technically, no. Oh yeah, Handanovic too in the Coppa. Oh my god. That's the best red card Handanovic ever got. Gagliardini, Skriniar, the same. Okay, you guys are exaggerating now. You guys are exaggerating. Shakir, as I said at the beginning of the stream, we're not talking about any transfer stuff today. Please stick with me and stick to the topic for today. We've got plenty of time to talk about transfer stuff. I'm going to put him in okay for now, man. Like, if you guys really disagree with this, I'm going to, like, change it afterwards. But I'm going to put Skriniar in okay. Because I've got both. Some people saying good, some people saying flop. I think, you know, if you look at his stats, how many minutes did he end up playing? Obviously, he missed, like, 3 or 4 months by the end of the season, didn't he? Where is he? Minutes. Where's he gone? Oh, yeah, there he is. So he still ended up playing more minutes than Lukaku, still ended up playing more minutes than Gosens, more minutes than Handanovic, Correa, D'Ambrosio, Gagliardini. So even with that serious injury, almost, he only had like 18 less minutes than De Vrij. So still, you know, it was quite a major part of the season. So that's why I don't know if I want to be putting him in the flop category. Yeah, Johnny disagrees with me quite strongly. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm controlling the stream. I am the captain, not Skriniar as I wanted him to be. Pain. Who shall we do next? We'll do let's talk about the guy that came in and stepped up in the absence of Skriniar. As they say, I'm the dad that stepped up. I'm not the stepdad. I'm the dad that stepped up. That's Matty Doms this season. Where are we putting Matty Doms? Because this guy is definitely in the higher categories. I don't know if he's MVP category, but this guy, the epitome of consistency, the epitome of stepping up when you need him. And also, actually, if I remember correctly, let me see, because we did a tier maker in the middle of the season, guys. I just remembered. Let me see if I can find it, because that would be interesting. Because let's see because we did that together as well. Yes, I found it, because I remember I made that. I made this one myself. So this is amazing. Actually, I'm glad I remember this. So this is what we gave the Inter squad in the middle of the season, before the World Cup, just before the World Cup break. We gave Dzeko mid-season MVP. Skriniar was in the good season category, and Matty Doms with Dumfries and Brozovic was in the okay category. So Matty Doms, if you think about it, really, his turnaround started after the World Cup, didn't it? Because he was okay as a right wing back. I think he only had like 1 goal and 1 assist when he was playing in the right wing back position. What did he finish the season with? Because we have to judge him for both halves. We can't just judge him toward the end as a centre back. We have to judge him for his right wing back performance as well. So Matty Dams finished the season with 2 goals and 2 assists, which, if he was just a right wing back, wouldn't be a good season. But we know that that's not how his season panned out. So what do you guys think? Let's have a look. Fantastic. Sharif says MVP. Interesting. Fantastic. Zadie Doms. MVP from Eduardo. Fantastic. I mean, yeah, it looks like a fantastic for me. I think, yeah, as I said, because of objectively, his first half of the season was nothing spectacular, which is what I expect from Matty Doms, but the second half was just unreal. So I think Matty Doms goes in fantastic next to Di Marco. Yeah, let's just do all the defenders now. We're in the defenders category. We might as well just do all the defenders. Let's go to Charles was saying Acerbi is the goal. Now this guy, what did we give him at the halfway point? So he was already having a good season, Acerbi, at the halfway point, according to us. This guy was already in the good season category. But to me, guys, this guy's been the most consistent defender we've had this season. More than Bastoni, more than Darmian, more than Di Marco. The only bad game I remember from this guy is Lazio. Mistakes, slipped. Yeah, that was a bad game from him. But in a season where he's played, look how many. Let's see how many. So he's, in terms of minutes as well, guys. This is crazy. In terms of minutes, this is all competitions. He's the third most minutes, guys. That is crazy. After Barella and Lautaro. Imagine at the beginning of the season, if we said that Acerbi's going to have the third most minutes this season. Because I thought, remember, guys, when we signed him, I was like, I'm happy with him because he's the Ranocchia replacement. So, 1,000, 1,500 minutes, that's fine. But this guy, 3,800 minutes, pocketing Haaland, pocketing, top strikers around Serie A, Osimhen, Giroud. This guy has been absolutely amazing. And to me, the more I'm talking to you guys, I am really like, thank you, Nick. I'm starting to think of him as a potential MVP, guys. And I don't want to, like, I know because the Champions League final is fresh. I don't want that to influence me. But after seeing that masterclass the other day, I'm going to put him there. Then if we disagree, we can always change it. But I'm going to put where did he disappear to? There he is. I'm going to put him in MVP for now, to be honest. I'm going to put him in MVP category. But then, obviously, at the end of the guys, then out of all the MVPs, we have to pick the MVP as well. So he's in the MVP category. He's an MVP nominee. He's a nominee. He's a nominee, Gianni. He's a nominee. I haven't given him the MVP. He's in that category. So he's, when you give the Oscar, he's there. He'll be mentioned. But is he getting it? I don't know. Is he getting the trophy? I don't know. Yeah, of course, the Acerbi story, like, again, that doesn't matter in our rationale here, but, 2 times cancer survivor, coming back from his setbacks, inspirational guy. And the chat, bro, Gianni, the chat is all is mostly saying MVP or minimum fantastic. Then let's go with Bastoni. Now with Bastoni, again, you have to think back to the beginning of the season, guys. Where was Bastoni? Here. Look at that. With Bastoni, we gave him, look how many people were in. It says everything about our beginning of the season. We put him in the not quite there category, Bastoni. So just remember what Bastoni was like at the beginning of the season. He seemed like he was stagnating. Inzaghi was subbing him out a lot, or sometimes even starting him at times, surprisingly. So, but of course, his end of the season, he's been fantastic the last 2 or 3 months, especially in the Champions League. Some of his performances, Benfica at home comes to mind. Barcelona away, like there are some real big performances that I can remember from Bastoni. And I'm glad that you guys are also being objective. I thought people would be, because he is one of our golden boys that we love to kind of sometimes go easy on, because he is another Interista golden boy. And he's recurring flu. His recurring flu. That's always funny about Bastoni. There always seems to be like some sort of little knock or flu-like symptoms that he gets before some games, and he can't seem to play like 3 games in a row. He'll play like 1-2 games in a row, and then whereas Acerbi just seems like he's unstoppable. So, okay, it seems like most of you agreeing that it's a good season, nothing like spectacular, just a good season. And yeah, thank you, Johnny, for reminding the people. Nick Knack says, Barcelona turned around when we got back to our old Conte ball. Yeah, I think that also helped in terms of the whole team got more solid in Nick Knack when we started to play a little bit deeper. And all that kind of the old certainties came back with the boys. Then let's go to Stefan de Vrij. Stefan de Vrij. Now, he's a weird one because he's played a lot less than I expected. By the way, I'm not putting him in the okay category. I'm just moving him up. He's played a lot less than I expected, to be honest, Stefan de Vrij. Let's have a look how many minutes he played. Yeah, as I said, he only just about played more minutes than Skriniar, who's been injured for like 3 months. 2,400 minutes. Got his one customary goal. When did he get that goal? I can't remember. Does anyone remember which game he got that goal in? I'm struggling to remember. Was it Champions League? I think he might have got it against Pilsen, right? Maybe. Can't remember. But he had a difficult preseason. I remember I was like, bro, this guy in preseason does not look good. But then his beginning of the season, I thought he was better than both Skriniar and Bastoni. But then Acerbi came in, who was better than him. But then when he started to come on as a substitute, he was actually pretty decent, especially towards the end of the season. There was one bad game where he got subbed at halftime, the Bologna game where we lost. But apart from that, I think he's had an okay season, right, guys? I mean, it looks like today the reports are saying he's got a new Sampdoria maybe then. I can't remember. Yeah, I really can't remember. That's the thing with the Vrij. He used to chip in with like 2 or 3 goals a season. Obviously, he used to play a lot more minutes as well. When he played, was good, nothing special, lacking pace. Yeah, it looks like he's getting his renewal though, which I'm not. It's okay to me, but I'm not too happy about because 4 million net to me doesn't make much sense for a backup. The Vrij flop, Omar says. I think that's a little bit harsh. I think that's a little bit harsh, to be honest. I think as Eduardo said, I think he almost flopped. But as Gianni says as well, it kind of just his end of season kind of saved him. We all wrote him off, but when he played, he did well. Yeah. Okay. Bang average, wouldn't be heartbroken if he left now on the free. Yeah. Stefan, okay season, looks sharp as a substitute. Yeah, let's just put him in, leave him in the okay. Okay. Oh yeah, Barca game. Yeah, he at home. Remember, he snuffed out Lewandowski. Hey, we got Bayern now in the house. Jeez, this guy. Lukaku, I forget what you did. Oh yeah, I know, bro. I know. But make sure you guys check him out if you want to know more about what's going on in the Bayern world. This is the guy to go to. Great channel. I went on his channel this year when we previewed the Inter Bayern games, which is funny. He was looking down on us, and then we ended up being in the final. All good, bro. All good. What's up, AD? Who shall we move on to next? Let's go to Robin Gosens. This is another tricky one to do because he's had some games where he's come on and had a big impact, like the Lazio game. Obviously that Barcelona goal, massive goal. But apart from that, finishing the season, 0 assists, 4 goals, which kind of, signifies what Robin Gosens is about. He's not his crossing leaves a lot to be desired. His left foot is like the opposite of DiMarco's. Is like his left foot is like pure, brick compared to DiMarco, especially. But you can never fault this guy. You know what it is? You can never fault this guy for effort. Like, we all know Correa is a flop. And for the money we paid for Gosens, 28 million to Atalanta, when you think about it objectively, he is probably a flop. But because of the amount of effort this guy puts in, how he speaks on the cameras, how hard he works, and he's actually had some important moments as well. It just elevates him to a little bit of a higher level. And yeah, I think, as I said, as a transfer overall, if you think about it, he's a flop. But this season, I think, like, we're judging here, guys. This is not judging the transfer. This is judging their season. And I think, that Lazio goal, that massive Barcelona goal, couple of cameo substitutes appearance that he's had, I think he's had an okay season. I think flop would be harsh on Gosens. That's my opinion. Yeah, Spark plug off the bench. The only one says flop. He was okay. Feels like that is true, Muad. It does feel like he tries almost too hard at times, which I think is also due to his injury. I think he's trying so hard to recover. Like he always says in interviews, like, you haven't seen, or Interisti haven't seen the real Gosens, or I don't feel like the real Gosens. Like, it seems like he's got like a mental block where he's like trying to get back to that Gosens of Atalanta, and his body just doesn't respond. And yeah, he was supposed to be, when we used to do our season previews last year, we used to put Gosens ahead of, I used to put Gosens ahead of Di Marco in my starting lineup. I was like, this is the Perisic replacement. Di Marco is going to be good, but Gosens is going to be the guy. He's going to get double digits contributions. That was my prediction, and got nowhere near it. He got nowhere near it. And yeah, of course, injuries affected him throughout the season. But we don't make fun of his injuries as much as we make fun of, Correa's injuries. But again, that's what I'm saying. His attitude and the way he plays just makes it much more acceptable from him than someone like Correa. So I'm going to put him in the okay category. I agree with you, Mattia. And yeah, we said that as well, that he's too similar to Dumfries. That duo, in my mind, it was never compatible. Even though I saw them as like the starting duo, but I never thought it'd be compatible. It had to be either the one of the other. He's basically the left. He's the Dumfries on the left, Gosens. Obviously, I'm not saying he's exactly that same player, but in terms of profile characteristics, they're output players. Like, you need to just involve them right at the end. You cannot involve them in build-up because their feet are made of bricks and they're just counterproductive when you're building up from the back. You just need to involve them in the final third. Headers, late runs into the box, first time cross. That's their game. Then let's do his brother on the right then, Denzel Dumfries. Brick freeze. Now this is going to be interesting. Johnny, I need you to sit down for a minute and not comment on this one, because you're going to be your opinion is going to be way too strong on this one. Let's have a look at Dumfries. Now again, take out the banter factor, the brick freeze factor. I'm going to take out the brick freeze jokes, all those jokes I make about him and his lack of technical ability. And let's think objectively on Denzel Dumfries, who, look at that. If we look objectively, top 5 in the team for assists, 2 goals, 7 assists. So 9 GA, almost double figures in contributions. And let's see in terms of minutes played where he ranks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th in the team for minutes played. 57 appearances, which is the same as Onana and Lautaro. So it's like joint most. So for a guy that has played that much, guys, and I know he's had his stinky ass performances. I will not lie to you. He's probably been, I think his bad performances have been the most like frustrating out of all of our players, because when he has those bad games, it's like, you are playing in 10 men when Dumfries has those bad games. And he did, after he came back from the World Cup, Inzaghi, I don't know if he was protecting him. He was just making up excuses for him, but he was saying that he came back from the World Cup with an injury, not quite well. But it took till about March, I would say, to see the Dumfries from last season coming back in. Like even defensively, he started to look a bit shaky, didn't he? But remember, guys, goal line clearance against Porto, goal line save. Was it against Porto again, or was it Benfica afterwards again? But it was there was definitely another one from Dumfries in the Champions League. There was two big ones, and in general, you know, he did build a partnership with the Darmian on that right. And I know he drives people crazy, but to be honest, I feel like, well, people even saying good season. I don't think. I think good season is too far, because his first half of the season plus that World Cup bit just wasn't good enough. And I had expectations from him in terms of last year. You guys know I wasn't a big fan of him even when we signed him, but I knew that 12 million, 30 million euros, it was a decent signing. And he actually performed a little bit better than I thought last year. So I had some expectations from him. So I can't put him as good season in my opinion. But to me, again, Johnny, I think your bias will never let you see the truth with Brick Freeze. Okay, it was Porto twice. That's when Darmshine preferred him over Brick Freeze. Yeah. Goal against, yeah, he had that goal against Pilsen as well. Yeah, that's true, in the Champions League. To play devil's advocate, do you think is our attacking output diminished because then? No, not really. Because I think Darmian also allows that free roaming. I mean, Darmian is he's more mobile than Skriniar in terms of, I think he does allow for that. I think it's more of our style of play, AD, in the second half of the season changed, especially in the Champions League. Like, we became a little bit more solid, didn't we? But his decision making is just completely, like, you know, the Champions League final is the perfect example. Like, he's regressed going forward for some reason. Oh man, yeah, when that Kostic thing against Juve, that was awful. So yeah, I'm gonna stick him in okay, as much as Johnny might cry. I'm gonna stick him in the okay category. Then let's move on to. Oh, let's do Handanovic actually. Yeah, let's do our captain, team captain still. Where are we putting our captain, Samir Handanovic? Because this guy, let's see, where did we put this guy in? Oh yeah, look, Dumfries, first half of the season, we said he was okay. So I think it makes sense to keep Dumfries in the okay category. Now, Handanovic, in mid-season, we gave him flop because we saw it straight away, didn't we? And when the season started, okay, Inzaghi said, you know, he's going to be my number one, he's my captain, blah, blah, blah. We were right, okay, that's okay. 1 or 2 games, we'll give you that. You want to bring in on us slowly. But we get to game 3, game 4, game 5, game 6, and this guy is still starting. And I don't know how much of that is on Inzaghi or how much of that is on Handanovic, because we all knew that it's not this season, it's been like 2 seasons that Handanovic has declined. So as much as it's Handanovic's fault, it's also Inzaghi's fault. But then that red card against for beating up Quadrado, it also I know we said to be objective. That red card against Quadrado, yeah, exactly, Edie. That red card against Quadrado is just it's just taking it up a notch for me. Honda okay with Brick Freeze, flop okay. Feels harsh, but it's not good enough. No, it's not harsh, Massimo. He isn't good enough anymore. Honda okay, did all right when he's called on. Okay. Is there a Banter category of a captain? Good, Balkan Warrior. Oh my god. This is the Balkan bias coming through. It can't be good. It can't be good. Okay, because the cup final and retire, please. Flop, Lamau meant to say. Okay, minimum. And it was decent. Yeah, that is true. I mean, like when he did when we did need him after the World Cup. Which again, I don't know why Inzaghi was still starting him in the league. I understand starting him in the Coppa Italia. His highlight was a red card. It's hard because I don't want to be disrespectful to the guy, but we have to be objective. But I think by the end, though, he did become okay. Like, in the end, we won Coppa Italia. We won it with Handanovic. We won the Coppa Italia final with Handanovic. He stepped in. In the league games, he had stepped in. He wasn't called in too much. Even against Torino, he made a good save a couple of weeks ago. I'm leaning towards okay, and that's mainly out of respect, to be honest. But hopefully, this is. I mean, if he reduces his wages considerably, like halves his wages, I wouldn't mind him staying there. But I hope it is his last season with us, to be honest. We should have gone to pens against City, bro. Yeah, I'm going to leave him in the okay category, to be honest. I don't want to spend too much time on him. Bellanova, what are we saying about Bellanova? I think has he played enough minutes to be judged, to be honest, guys? This is one thing I put on Inzaghi. How many minutes has Bellanova played? Look at it. This guy's played 656 minutes, man. That is... So, he had 22 appearances. Let's do that. How many minutes was it? 656 divided by 22 appearances. What is that? 29. Okay, let's run out. 30 minutes. He gets half an hour on average per appearance. Is that really enough to judge Bellanova? Yeah, no, he is, of course, a legend. No disrespect in that category, Charles. But yeah, if you guys really feel like, as I said, we can change one guy. We can change one guy at the end of the stream. Not enough minutes to give flop after the Empoli game. I'll say okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I mean, he did get to play the Champions League final, which is funny. He's the... Let's count out like Carboni, Zanotti, Kodas, like those guys are barely part of the squad. Bellanova has the least minutes in our squad, but he got minutes in the Champions League final. But to be honest, I can't call him a flop, and this is on Inzaghi. I can't call him a flop. As a transfer, maybe you can say he's a flop, but I'm gonna put him in the okay category, to be honest. Guys, I can see your comments about transfer window. We're not going to talk about that on today's stream. I apologize, but stick to the topic for today. We're going to have plenty of months to talk about all this. Leave a thumbs up, please. And now let's do Onana. Yeah, let's finish with the defenders category, so we can finish with goalkeepers and defenders. Where are we putting Onana? I think obviously it has to be either fantastic or MVP category. Now, again, this is not his fault, but bloody Inzaghi didn't play him for the first 8 games in the league, but he still ended up being 4th highest minutes, right? Yeah, 4th highest in terms of minutes. So there's enough there to have the claim to be in the MVP category. But at the same time, again, don't think about this hype now with Onana after. If it's strictly Champions League, then Onana is probably the MVP for Champions League. Strictly Champions League, because he played all the Champions League games. That's the game that he first started for us. Remember, Bayern Munich. Inzaghi chooses his first game to start is against Bayern Munich. But like, I think he's had a fantastic season, but I don't know if he's the MVP category, in my opinion. And if you look at if you pull up FB Ref, I don't think his actual goalkeeping stats as well, in terms of post XG numbers and things like that. I don't think he ranks very well in those numbers. Yeah, let's pull up his FBref. Again, this is not like the be-all, end-all of judging goalkeepers, but this is just something to support. So yeah, you can see post-shot XG minus goals allowed. He's in the 82nd percentile in Europe. Like, it's decent. It's okay. Save percentage, 88th percentile, like pretty good. Good clean sheet percentage. So he's definitely had a very, very good season. Of course, passes attempted. Now he's getting into those high numbers. That's where he ranks really high. Clean sheets percentage. That's where he ranks best. And yeah, his only mistake in reality was probably the one against Baldanzi, Empoli. But I don't know. To me, I'm not leaning towards the MVP category, but a lot of you are voting MVP. As I said, I am a man of the people, so I might have to revisit my my thoughts on this. Yeah. Kandreva one, I don't know. That one, even I said at the time, I don't know if I want to blame him on that because they got the deflection from, that was DiMarco's poor crossing defending, to be honest, in my opinion. But it looks like, actually now there's a couple more Fantastics coming in. Wow. Shakir even says good season. So I'm going to leave him in Fantastic now. Now the last few comments have changed it for me because I was seeing at the beginning lots of MVPs. But now I'm seeing more Fantastics and one even good. And Mattia was also saying Fantastic. Because you have to judge the whole Serie A season as well. And of course, he had when he was coming in, of course, he was coming in off an inactivity period as well. But yeah, if you guys feel a way about this, as I said, we'll change Onana. Don't beef people in the chat, Gianni. Oh yeah, D'Ambrosio. We'll put him in okay, guys. I don't want to spend too much time on D'Ambrosio. How many minutes he had? D'Ambrosio. Where is he? There he is. He had literally 30 more minutes than Gagliardini. 24 appearances, only 2 assists. This season, D'Ambrosio hasn't even offered his usual back post goals, like his Lord Danilo DD33 amazing back post goal, which is usually at least one guaranteed from D'Ambrosio. So I'm just going to put him in D'Ambrosio. Oh, Shakir meant Fantastic. I mean, D'Ambrosio deserves MVP just for him being D'Ambrosio. But yeah, we miss his 90-minute headers. So yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on D'Ambrosio. We can just leave him on okay. And again, let's see whether he stays or not, this guy. Now, we're done with defenders and goalkeepers. Now let's move on to the nitty-gritty. Who shall we do first? Let's do... Oh yeah, let's do Correa. Let's get him out of the way. Flop, easy. This guy, oh my goodness. What an infuriating player. Again, if we're talking strictly transfer, this guy is a flop, but this is also performance. In the mid-season review, we gave him flop as well. Like, this guy is just unbelievably bad. One of the worst transfers we've made, not just recently, like overall. Finishes the season with 5 goal contributions, which is not good enough. 1,400 minutes, again, a season full of injuries. We gave him the benefit of the doubt last year, but this year there's nothing to say. Yeah, if we were judging his barbecue skill, his Azardo skills, he is the top of the line MVP. But when it comes to actually being a football player, Awful. Yeah, he probably needs his own character, his own category. And you guys know, I mean, this guy was a guy that I was backing, especially last season, but then I jumped off this bandwagon, off his like train real quick at the beginning of the season. I saw no drive, no commitment, no motivation, no hard work. And yeah, he's just a bad player, this guy. And he's just not made for a big team. He needs to return to a Lazio or a Fiorentina. That's his level. It is what it is. I hope we can get rid of this guy this summer. Not much else to talk about there. And then we can also, I think, Nick Knox, I know if you're there, bro, but Gagliardini, usually, and I always fight back, with Gagliardini, Dumfries, these types of guys are usually like the scapegoats of the fan base. I always fight back, like, as much as I don't like him as a footballer, he does his 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10 job, Gagliardini. But this season, I just feel like he's just, similarly to Correa, like, even when he comes on as a substitute, I feel like the game just goes out of our grasp. Or like Inzaghi brings him on to bring on defensive stability, but usually he just, and I'm not even talking about just the red card against Napoli, because that's just obviously a bit of recency bias. But this guy just, when he comes on, you get worried. He's just looks sluggish. He looks like, I mean, that was quick, but he's 28, 29. He looks so slow already. Like, he looks heavy, leggy, like he weighs 150 kilograms. And yeah, again, another guy that I hope, I mean, surely we're not renewing. Gallia Maguire. Yeah, I think this is another easy one. Not much to talk about. I think it's just big time flop. And again, his transfer at the beginning when we signed him looked okay. 2017, 2018 times, even by 2019, he still looked okay. Even in the Conte winning Scudetto season, as much as we started to dislike him by that time, he still provided. That's when I was saying, he was still providing a 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. And Conte relied on him a lot, too much, for the Europa League final. But now it's just, yeah. Guys, that reminder is still on. My calendar reminder for 30th of June is still on. Next up, let's do Aslani. And again, I think similarly to Bellanova, I don't have the heart to really rate him as a flop or Banter. I mean, it could put him in Inzaghi hates him, because I think similarly in terms of, if you talk about Gagliardini, Aslani should have got way more minutes this season instead of Gagliardini, because how many minutes has he got? 858 minutes, no injuries, by the way, Aslani. 200 minutes less than Gagliardini. Like, this should be minimum swapped around. Aslani should have had minimum 1,000 minutes, and Gagliardini should be, less than 900, 800 minutes. So we could make an argument for Banter / Inzaghi hates him, because this guy was, Bellanova was a bit different, because we were kind of, I know Darmian's there, but with the way Dumfries was playing, I think that role was up for grabs. But we caught quite a few players there. D'Ambrosio can also play there. Aslani is like, you could have rotated him in the Mezzala positions, and he chose not to. But yeah, Inzaghi, I think, in reality, guys, I think he's at an okay season. But because of the way I've named that category, I think I probably named that category just for Aslani, to be honest, because it does feel like Inzaghi hates him. And yeah, he did, like, the Parma Coppa Italia game, he played well. Even against the Napoli game, I thought he did okay. There was that Roma game where he started at the beginning of the season where, yeah, it looked like, he's not ready yet. But again, I've never thought he's had a bad game. I thought he's always done decent impact whenever he comes on. So this is another one that's on Inzaghi, to be honest. So I'm going to leave him there because of Inzaghi. This is on Inzaghi, blood on his hands. Okay, now we get to probably the most interesting categories. Let's stick to the midfielders. Henrik Mkhitaryan, I think fantastic, guys. Similarly to Acerbi, comes in, low expectations. Well, I had higher expectations from Mkhitaryan, of course. Thank you to Mourinho, who already converted him into a deeper midfielder last season, which made his transition into this team so much quicker. Minutes wise, where does he rank? So he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th. So he's in the top 10 for minutes. 5 goals, 2 assists, which is not bad. 7 contributions. I expect actually a little bit more from Mkhitaryan, because of his past as an attacking midfielder / winger. And I like him more than Hakan as a mezzala. I'll be honest, if this guy was 5 years younger, I'd be like, sell Hakan and keep this guy as the starter. But obviously he's 33, 34, so that's not realistic. But I think he's more of a real mezzala, progressive mezzala than Hakan is. What do you guys think about Henrik Mkhitaryan? Fantastic. Oh yeah, the 96th minute goal. That was absolutely amazing. Fantastic. Ooh, MVP Tarian. I like that, MVP Tarian. I don't think he's good enough for the MVP category, AD, but I like the name that you gave. Good. Johnny saying good. The biggest surprise, Eduardo says. Not for me, but it seems like he did surprise a lot of people. Because I watched him at Roma. He already was one of their better players last season for Roma. Oh, that is a good shout for Hakan. That is a good shout. You need 2 of them for different positions. Mickey Good would have been fantastic if he wasn't overplayed. Yeah, that's true as well. There was a point in the season where Inzaghi, similarly to Acerbi, kind of squeezed him out like a lemon. Mickey, fantastic for sure, man. Is ready for retirement. No, yeah, it seems like people are saying fantastic. So I'm gonna leave him in fantastic. Yeah, it's not just about his goal and assists, 100%. His defensive contributions also been good. A couple of times, again, it's not his natural game following players, third man runs. Sometimes he kind of, that Barcelona goal, there was few instances where you can see he's not a natural central midfielder. But again, nitpicking. So yeah, I'm going to leave him in the fantastic category. Where was he in the mid-season? Let's have a look where he was mid-season. Yeah, look, even mid-season, we already had him in the good category. That's great. So I think that makes sense then. Henrik Mkhitaryan. Okay, so Marcelo Brozovic. Now, this is a difficult one because of his injuries. Brozovic had his injuries. Actually, let's have a pull up. So he had the injury before the World Cup, and then he had injury after he came back from the World Cup as well. Let me see the timeline. So he had look at that. This is already the most injuries he's had since he's been at Inter, really. But calf problem at the beginning in pre-season, and he has a big hamstring injury, keeps him out to the whole of October. And then obviously, coming back just before the World Cup, not ideal. Then he goes to the World Cup, has a good World Cup for Croatia, gets injured, out for another month, and then it takes him time to come back. So, look at that. He's missed 9 games before, then 8 afterwards. That's a lot of games by Brozovic's standards. And then I don't think we saw the real Brozovic, similar to some other players. We didn't really see the real Brozovic till March, April. I remember he came on against Porto and he changed the game as a substitute. That was one of the games where you saw oh, finally we're starting to see the real Brozovic again. But then he has some stinker games like Empoli away. I remember that was a real bad game from Brozo. But then these Champions League nights, he turns up as often he does. So I don't think he definitely can't be in the fantastic or MVP category, which is usually his category. So my would be between good and okay. Because you could argue by Brozovic standards, it's been an okay season by his very, very high standards, because he is one of my favorite players in this team. So, and yeah, you could say that Hakan almost usurped him. I think he did usurp him at one point. So, good season, missing a lot, but big performances show how valuable he is. People forgot he played every single game on the Conte last season too. Yeah, Balkan, but we're judging him off this season. Brozo is good, okay, good. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one, as I'm saying, because I have such high standards for Brozovic. Ugh. I am leaning towards the good, but then we barely have any players in the good category. So I feel like we need to put some more players in that good category. So I'm gonna just for the lack of players in that good category, I'll put him in the good category. But in reality, I'm leaning more towards the okay season for Brozovic. I mentioned that because everyone wants to sell him. Again, Mark Correa, I don't think it's about everyone wants to sell him. The reality of the matter is, because of his age, because of his high wage, rhymes. Because of, like, we've seen that maybe, this guy is not, a robot like we thought he was in previous season. His body seems like maybe he's starting to show signs of his age, and he's not the most professional guy off the field. That's what we're saying, that if we have to sacrifice someone, if you're going to bring in an SMS, and you're going to have to sacrifice one of the defensive midfielders, it probably is him. But again, I wouldn't mind sacrificing Hakan. But the problem is, I don't think anyone is offering anything for Hakan. I think Brozovic is the one that has the offers. That's the reason why. Hakan doesn't seem to have any offers on the table. I mean, if Saudi Arabia came through with an offer for Hakan, I wouldn't mind selling Hakan. To me, the issue, Hakan to me after this season is a center defensive midfielder. I don't like him. You guys know, if you followed me, you may disagree with me. But even last season, when Hakan objectively had a good season, I didn't like Hakan in the Mezzala position. And I think the Champions League final, not being reactionary, but that showed, like, he just doesn't know how to receive between the lines. He can't turn. He can't carry the ball. He makes the ball move with his passing when he's facing the play. And to me, the season and his tackling and defensive play is really good. So I see him as the CDM now. I don't like him as a CDM. As I said, I prefer Mkhitaryan to him in that role. So Hakan or Brozo, to me, one of those two. I accept selling them. Regista Noglu better than Mezzala Noglu. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, trequartista Noglu. That guy is not a trequartista. Apart from having a good shot, this guy is just got no characters of traits of a trequartista. The Brozo we know does 3 games a week and runs 16 kilometers. Exactly. I just have such high standards for Brozo, man. I'm gonna have to put him in the okay category. I just have such high standards. I'm so conflicted. Let's move on. Then we can debate afterwards. Yeah, now that we're speaking about Hakan, saying all that, I think he has to be in the MVP category. I think Hakan has to be in the MVP category. This guy has been one of our most consistent players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th in the team for most minutes. 4 goals, 8 assists. But this season, let's have a look actually his FB ref numbers. Like, he must be ranking well in terms of tackling, interceptions and stuff. Let's have a look. What was the best highest rate? So he's So key passes, he's always really ranked high in that. Crosses, shot creating actions, 4.57, 0.23 per 90 minutes, 1.93 passes. Like he's ranking good. Shots on target, switches. I'm surprised to see he's not ranking that high in like some defensive aspects too. Surprised actually. Wow. So I don't know, guys. To me, like his consistency this season, guys, like stepping in, like think about this, guys. As we said, Brozovic having a bit of a stinker of a start to the season plus injuries. This guy comes in, that goal against Barcelona, steps in a CDM, home against Barcelona, away against Barcelona, against, Bayern. This guy stepped up at such a Mattia. You cannot be serious in talking about good with Hakan. It has to be either fantastic or MVP. It has to be either fantastic or MVP. I don't think about that final, guys. Don't think about the final from the other day. Let's erase the Champions League final. Think about the whole season. And again, I'm not giving him MVP. Again, you guys, this category is not the winner of the MVP. This is the contenders for the MVP. Nah, man. I know I said I'm a man of the people, but with Hakan, maybe it's because he's surprised me so much this season. Yeah, but we can't have talk about one game. You can't let one game affect, because then Barella's gonna be, we're gonna have to take Barella notch down if it's UCL final. We'll take Lautaro down if it's about the UCL final. A lot of our big guys didn't step up in the UCL final. MVP for Sushing Bilan in the derby as well. Again, little extra brownie points. Again, guys, I see you guys. I know it's fresh in your mind, but forget the Champions League final. I know, but if it's that, then we have to take out a lot of the guys, our big boys. Then then I'm taking Lautaro down if we're talking about the Champions League final. I'm leaving an MVP, guys. Let's move on. Let's do Lakaka. No, actually, let's fill this midfielder. Let's talk about Barella. What do you mean? He to me has been the most consistent out of. He's more consistent than Barella. Barella had his lows have been so low this season. Barella, the screaming and shouting, the body language, some of his games have been so bad. Whereas Hakan has been a lot more consistent. He hasn't had. This guy's had 5 out of 10 streams. 5 out of 10 games. So I disagree with you on that, Mattia. Sorry. So Bare, fantastic. Wow, actually, I'm surprised. I thought people would be saying Barella MVP, because Barella is our most contributing midfielder, 9 goals, 10 assists. I mean, 19 GA is some strikers would be happy with those types of numbers. Second most minutes in the team as well, isn't it? Yeah, 4,029 minutes. So he's putting the hard yards. He's putting the hard work. But again, just as I said, his lows have been real low. I think Barella's also had some of the highest highs in this team. And he probably is on his day. I know Anthony, I can see his text message. I know on his day, I think he's our best player in the team. And the goals he scores. But to me, these numbers, guys, 10 and 9. Wow, there's actually not that many MVP shouts as I thought there would be. I'm surprised. Anthony's going to come for you all. But again, yeah, going back to what we talk about Brozovic, we have such high standards for some of these guys. Interesting. I can't put him in MVP because, yeah, there's not that many shouts for MVP. There's a couple in here. There's 2 or 3, but not as many. This is definitely less than I thought. This is less than I thought. Wow. Okay, we're leaving him in fantastic. I mean, it's not like a fantastic season. He's a fantastic season. Let's not forget, guys. And yeah, Serie A gave him best midfielder, but again, there, as I said to you guys before, I think again, consistency wise, guys like Lobotka out there, in terms of sheer output in Serie A, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic was higher than him. But again, can't judge a midfielder just in terms of output. Okay, let's do Edin Dzeko, who, let's not forget. Oh yeah, we gave Barella a good season at the midpoint as well, which is good. So I think we're about on the right track. But Edin Dzeko had our mid-season MVP, guys. But he probably has had the biggest fall off in terms of form, because this guy, if we look at his stats, where is he? Baba Edin Dzeko. This guy gone from mid-season MVP to like, was he win like 14 or 15 games without scoring a goal? Like, it was crazy after the World Cup break. Like, look at this. He was scoring. I think he was top scorer at this point. And then January hits. Yeah, then I think he scored in the Super Cup, didn't he? Super Cup, 18th of January. And then afterwards, then he scores against Cremonese. And then look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 Serie A games, and I think there was some Champions League and Coppa games in between that this guy went without scoring. So he definitely, I don't think, obviously, he can't be MVP, and I don't think he can be fantastic either. I think he has to be good season, right? Yeah, good. Okay, I mean, yeah, I think there's also shouts for okay, because the drop-off was been so bad. And then at the end, he's only got like some stat padding goals as well, like, the 2 goals against Hellas Verona. It's not really like important goals afterwards. Like, literally, second half of the season, this guy just like disappeared. And again, this is not his fault. This is, Lukaku's injury, him getting overplayed, Inzaghi trusting him. I mean, his Champions League performances were better. We have to be, objective. He did get that goal against Fiorentina, against Milan as well. That was a great goal in the first leg. That was massive. But yeah, this is not a charity. He earns a lot of money. He's got a big reputation. Yeah, but again, Shaqiri, like, the second half was just like, if he still had a few more goals in the second half, I think it would have been a fantastic season. But I think good season isn't bad. Like, again, let's think about what these terms mean. I think good season is still good. I think he can be happy with his season. And it looks like he'll be going to Fenerbahce. Apparently, Fenerbahce, Turkey, is the favorites to sign him. Okay, now let's finish up with the last 2. Lakaka. Oh, I think this one will have the biggest range of going from banter, but it also be some people saying flop, okay, good. Okay, no one's going to say MVP, but I think some people might even say fantastic. Let's see. Lakaka. Let's go. I'm just going to watch now. I'm going to watch the comments. I'm not going to say anything. So, okay, good. He was a good flop. Good. Great when he's 100% fit. Okay. Good. Okay. Okay season. Okay. Good season, but potentially okay. Good. Flop with glimpses of good. Fantastic. After injury was fantastic. Right. I think fantastic, but I'm biased. I think, yeah, when he was fit, guys, and again, as I said, with the final with Hakan, forget about the Champions League final. I know it's hard to do it. But again, even the final, he came and changed the game. But this guy, when he was fit, that goal against Porto, by the way, the Porto goal is probably the most important goal. Like, we don't get to the final because Porto was our hardest game in the knockouts, and it was only one goal, and that was the Lukaku goal. So from end of February, March, when he finally started to be fully fit, and then April, May, the way he ended the season, it was fantastic. But the fact that the injury, being out for 3 or 4 months, and because he takes so long to get in shape, is so he's had an okay season. And the problem is, guys, he we signed him. We went all in. We sacrificed the Dybala transfer to go all in for one season on him. You know, the beginning of the season, I said to him, when I said it, Zaghi's got no excuses now because we brought back Lukaku. We've upgraded in midfield with Mkhitaryan. We've added depth to the team. Gosens is now fit. But unfortunately, this guy was out for most of the season. And then even when he came back, it took him ages. But then the end, those goals, the Benfica goal, the penalty, ice cold penalty, the Juventus Coppa Italia as well. You know, that Coppa Italia, that penalty was massive. And the way he finished the season, the goal against Sassuolo, all that, I think, Atalanta. I think it's because of the fact that of the injury and the expectation, the fact that we spend so much on this loan to bring him back. It has to be just an okay season. And yeah, I think it's going to be hard for him to turn down the Saudi offer. If it is true. If it's true. And now we finish up, guys. Lautaro El Toro Martinez. Easy. MVP category. Top scorer, top assister, his best season until now at Inter. Most minutes played, even with he had the injuries after the World Cup, played through this injury. He's going to have his ankle operated on. Took on the captaincy for a little while as well. Leader. No, I can't accept anything low. I know he has always has his inconsistencies and those streaks of going 6, 7, 8 games without scoring. It seems like it's a guarantee every season with Lautaro. But when you're the top goal scorer and the top assister and most minutes played, and this is his best season yet at Inter for sure, he has to be in the MVP category. And I can see 95% of people are saying this. Yeah, UCL again. You know, Lautaro fans are always very touchy about it, but like when you think about it, even the Barcelona goal, he scored it against Eric Garcia and Gerard Piqué. Obviously, you can only score against who you're against, but the Milan goal, yes, that was like, iconic, that goal, the celebration, but, we're already 2-0 up on aggregate, and that's like, big goals and Champions League. This guy has been a while. It's been a while. And again, like similar to how he faded away against Van Dijk and Matip and Konate last season against Liverpool. Disappeared against Diaz, Akanji, Ake the other day. But he is the MV in the MVP category. Now let's pick who is the actual MVP, guys. So is it Acerbi, Hakan, or Lautaro? I think it's again. I know with Acerbi the Champions League final is very fresh, so I think people are very swayed. People are very swayed by the fact that he's pocketed Haaland very recently, and then Lautaro and Hakan had two absolute stinkers in the Champions League final. But be objective here, guys. Wow. Acerbi. Everyone's going for Acerbi. Are you guys going for Acerbi because of a surprise? Or are you actually going Acerbi for consistency? Like Anthony here is. Acerbi, Lauti, Acerbi, Hakan, Acerbi, Lauti or Acerbi. Nah, it has to be one knick-knack. We're not doing no NFL stuff in here. Lauti, Martinez. I mean, I'm leaning towards Lautaro because at the end of the day, I know he hasn't been as consistent as Acerbi, but he did lead this team and drag this team in some moments. But wow, you guys are going for Acerbi, man. I'm seeing more Acerbi than Lauti. And I'm not mad about it. It's just I'm slightly leaning towards Lauti, but if you guys are saying Acerbi, guys, then I can't argue. Okay. All right. Then the Uncle Sharma channel MVP of the 2022-2023 season for Inter is Francesco Acerbi. Congrats to Acerbi. Wow. Imagine, guys. That is crazy. I would never have thought this when we signed Acerbi at the beginning of the season, that this guy would be winning our MVP at the end of the season. I'm sure Inter, by the way, I am 99% sure Inter will give the MVP, like Inter Lenovo Award, wherever the sponsor is. It will given to Lautaro again. He's the poster boy. They gave it to him last year when he didn't even deserve it. But this year, he actually, in my opinion, does deserve it. So, yeah, I do remember. Yeah, probably Leo Vegas Award. Yeah, exactly. One of the, as long as it's not the Digital Bits Award. That's No, Charles. I'm just saying because I could see the recency bias when it comes to the Champions League final with Hakan and Barella. Oh, sorry, Lautaro. People were calling them out for it. So I was just asking whether is that the recency bias about thinking that this guy's pocketed Haaland. So right now you're just in love with him. But no, as I said, I'm not mad about it. Well done, Acerbi, MVP of the season. Correa, flop of the season. I'm going to decide for you guys. It's not Gagliardini, it's Correa. Who's the most improved player of the season? Most improved player. Digital Bits Award for Correa. Yeah, that's the perfect one for him. I think you could say DiMarco is a shout. I think DiMarco is a shout. You could say Onana going from being a banned footballer and having a stinky AFCON to being, potentially MVP for Inter. That's a big improvement. Hakan, becoming this regista master all of a sudden. That's also a shout. Denzel, no. I mean, he's improved within the season, but he has actually had a worse season than he had last year. Barella, no, I think he already had a good season last year. I think he's improved in terms of he's improved his goal scoring this year. This is the best goal scoring season, so I can see an aspect of his that is improved. Darmian, yeah, you could say Darmian, but again, he's always been Mr. Reliable. But yeah, Onana was already a beast at Ajax. Yeah, I think let's say Di Marco, because he's also stepping up for Italy. Let's not forget he's now becoming the starting left back for Italy as well. Had a good performance against Man City the other day. I see a lot of neutrals talking about Di Marco as well from that his performance. Yeah, Berlanga management. Bastoni, no, not really. Again, he's improved this season. Like within this season, he improved. But has he improved compared to last season? No, I don't think so. I think he's kind of, still good. Yeah. Interesting. Let's give it to most improved player, Federico Di Marco. Hopefully he can improve. I don't know what he did in Turkey. Maybe he improved his hairline. Who knows? And now let's finish up with goal of the season. So I chose 5, guys. I did a Twitter post yesterday of what is your favorite Inter goal this season. So I show you my 5. And obviously, talk about your. Actually, no. Yeah, we need to do Limone rating. Yes, Eduardo, thank you for reminding us. There's no point doing this, Chucky. Inzaghi doesn't play young players, so there's no point. Limone, let's give him a rating. I think let's do grade with Limone because this guy. Let's do like A, B, C, D, E, F, like that kind of rating for Limone. I think Serie A is probably like a D or a C, because you've achieved the bare minimum. Because top 4 is bare minimum for Inter with this squad. Bringing back Lukaku, the deepness compared to other teams, the wage structure, second highest paid. He's also high paid. So I think the Serie A season is probably like a D or an E even. But then Coppa Italia, obviously, A. He wins it. Supercoppa, A. And then Champions League. It could have been an A+, but that's probably another A. So overall, probably like a B minus, B plus or B minus. Oh yeah, we could do it out of 10. 4 out of 10 in the league, 10 out of 10 in the UCL, so 7 balance it out. Yeah, I guess that works as well. Yeah, so if we do it by letters, I think it's a B minus. If we do it by numbers, it's a 7 out of 10 because your 12 losses, guys, is just the 12 losses is just not acceptable. And this is not rating Inter season. I think this is remember rating Inzaghi. So I think he also gets minus points from me for usage of youth or developing the younger players. So minus points for how he's used Aslani, Belanova, because usually it doesn't matter at Inter, but in our financial situation, it is important. He should be making better use of our younger players, even if it's just to sell on, like Carboni at the end of the season, Akinson Miro, like some of these guys. But then his rotation towards the end of the season has been fantastic. He's kept us going. This run at the end of the season to secure top 4 and his cup merchant ways. I think it's a 7 out of 10 B minus season from Inzaghi. And that's what I see a lot of you guys say. Obviously, his Champions League campaign is nothing can be said. No, I know, but at the end of the day, Matteo, it's just like, it's when you're the head coach, it's on him. And a lot of those, the second half of the season for sure, but in the first half of the season, Matteo, I think there was lots of some tactical mistakes from Inzaghi as well, where he continued to be playing a higher line and kind of, yeah, it just seems like things weren't clicking. Physically, we looked off it, which is not on him. Obviously, that's his staff, but we were not rating his like stuff. It falls on him. But yeah, I think I'm happy to give him a B minus, 7 out of 10. Okay, let's finish up with the goal of the season. We're coming up to an hour and a half. Wow, this is a long stream. One of my longest streams ever. Hope you guys are enjoying, by the way. Leave a thumbs up if you are. Yeah. So, top 5 goals of the season. This is not just aesthetically. This is like, the emotions come into play in this as well. So this is why the Lautaro one, as I said, even though, when you think about it objectively, we're winning that aggregate 2-0 anyway, his goal 3-0 aggregate, but the meaning of it, the celebration, the iconic picture at the San Siro, the roar, probably the loudest I've heard in San Siro for many, many years. It would look like San Siro was going to crumble from the pressure. That one has to be up there. There was the Lauti goal in the Super Coppa as well. That was a nice, again, it's just like aesthetically very, very nice goal, that one, outside of the boot. But Tatarusanu tax plus Super Coppa plus it was another one that was a 3-0 goal. I didn't put him in my top 5. My front runner is this, Barella versus Cremonese, like the clean technique of this volley, the placement, the power is just, to me, like, this is such a Barella goal, and it's so good. And then Hakan versus Verona, just because the distance, the power, the dip, and then the celebration afterwards was nice as well. That was mad. Mad goal. Barella versus Benfica, again, kind of the individual brilliance, cutting back onto his left, the importance of the goal, Champions League night, I don't know, just iconic. And then this Robin Gosens goal, whew, again, maybe I went too much for the emotions of my picks rather than the actual aesthetics or the difficulty of the goal. But this Robin Gosens goal, I thought this was going to be his return, like, his comeback story, his like moment to turn his season around. It wasn't to be, but at that moment, that goal, everyone jumped onto the pitch. Remember, like, they thought they won the game and then they equalized, unfortunately. But what a goal this was. Lautaro's set up, Onana's kick to reach it. So those were my top 5. Lukaku against Sassuolo, that was another really, really good one. Correa versus Sampdoria, I tweeted that one out, but no one was listening about that one because it's Correa. But objectively, in a team that we were dying for a dribbler or like some dribbling goals, that was probably the only one this season. Starting almost at the edge of his own box, Correa. But no one gives him credit because it's Correa. Levan Disney, that goes his goal. To me, guys, to be honest, it's between Hakan and Barella. It's either this one or this one. Those are the goals of the season for me because the technique, the power in both. Jacob's pills, yeah, that was okay. That DiMarco touch, the Barella pass, decent. That was like technically very nice goal. Yeah, to me, it's one of these two, to be honest. I want to pick one of these two. I think I might pick Hakan just for this, like, the sheer, like, just trying it. Because, like, in modern football, because the way modern football is becoming, there's actually stats show that players take less and less shots from outside the box, especially 30, 35 yards out, because coaches and everything now tells them it's low probability. And the balls these days as well, they're so light, they just fly all over the place. It's not like back in the day, used to see a lot more shots from outside the box. So I think this one, just for the sheer cheek of trying to shoot from here and actually pulling it off. I think this was a 1-0 or 2-0 goal as well, so it was actually kind of quite important to get us going in this game. Well, yeah, I wasn't going to put the edit because I was going to get double copyright for that, Massimo. I was going to get copyright for the video and then copyright for the music for the Vincero. So yeah, goal of the season. If you guys are happy with it, I'm going to give it to Hakan. Hakan versus Hellas Verona. And that's it for me, guys. I don't want to long out the stream too much because I hope if you've rewatched this, not live, and you've rewatched it all the way through, shouts out to you because this is a very long live stream. And thank you everyone that's come through. You guys are the MVP. You stuck through 1 hour and 35 minutes of a live stream. In an age where TikTok content, short form content is the king, the fact that you guys are sticking through with me for this long is it's amazing. So appreciate you all. And yeah, we've had a great season on this channel. We got to 6K. We're on the road to 7K. Hopefully we get to there by the new year. That's my goal, to get to 7K before 2024 starts. And hope you guys enjoyed the show, guys. I know it was a long one, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I know you might disagree with some things. You might, want to scream at the screen for some of the placements, but I decided with you guys. This has been decided by committee. I'll show you guys for the one final time our ratings. And yeah, love all of you guys. Appreciate you all. I can see a lot of you guys were here from the beginning of the stream and right until the end. So I appreciate you all. And yeah, content over the next few days, guys, continue coming because Inter just don't let us rest. Transfer window continues. Ciao ragazzi. Always Forza Inter. And yeah, thank you, Rob, for reminding the people. Leave a thumbs up before you go out. Appreciate all the nice words. And yeah, giveaway for channel members coming. I'm going to announce it in the next live stream. Limone Ball t-shirt giveaway for channel members in the next live stream. Yeah. Ciao ragazzi. Forza Inter.